Hi everybody, welcome to this short overview of vaccination process in GenOps. We created a simple scenario with an administrator, HCSW, and a vaccinator. And what we want to do is just show you how easy it is to model and manipulate information once you've set it up in GenOps. So if we have a look at the products here, we've created some different scenarios of how the vaccine may be delivered. And you may want to use the same process for setting up different vaccines such as the Pfizer, AstraZeneca and the Johnson. This is the load balancing where we can see those processes for the administrator, HCSW and the vaccinator just balanced against the time that we have available to deliver. And if we want to do some very quick rebalance, I can choose some different operators and I can start to move some of this information around. So these steps between the players. And now what this does is, because it's not in Excel or Word, it's in a database, we can do this really easily and then present it for authorization as a new way of doing stuff. So let's take a look inside one of the standards. If I click on Vaccinator, this will take us to the environment where we start to build the standards. In this case, I'm just going to collapse the steps for this SOP, and we can see steps 1 to 7 from putting on the PPE to its disposal. Those in green are live, those 2 to 3 are drafts. They have drafts available of those steps. So it's very easy to manipulate the data at this stage. We'll go into it in a bit more detail, so we'll click on one of these steps so that you can see how we build them. But just to show, no data is lost when you start to move steps around and you're not having to worry about the administration of it. As far as the options go, what we're able to see is we've got the steps for the vaccinator here, and we can overlay that with the different scenarios from the GP surgery across to the school, and we can decide which ones of those steps apply to those scenarios. And by so doing, we can present the information to the guys on the front line in an error-proofed way, so that if there are any changes between the scenarios, they don't have to worry about that. They're presented with the information, the standard operating procedures for those particular scenarios. Here we can see the safety requirements, so we can add PPE very easily. This is all done through the database again. We can see hazards that may be involved in dealing with this particular standard. And the good thing about GenOps is it totally controls a number of versions, all the version controls, all the changes that are made, all the improvements that we want to incorporate would go through a very stringent authorization process that we would set up to provide all the traceability that's required for this standard. In this case, because it's fresh out of the box, I haven't attached an authorization loop to it. But let's have a look now when we go into the vaccinator SOP, and I'm going to go deeper into it now. So let's have a look at putting on the PPE. This is where we very quickly build up the standard in this environment where it's very easy to add information, add photographs and annotate them, or videos, attach videos to this, or other documents that you believe is important for this SOP, and then present them for authorization. We can then look at this standard online. So if we wanted to look at this on a tablet or on a mobile device, we could do so just by tabbing through here. It would provide us with the steps that we need to take. And you can see also that we can attach videos and provide on-site training for people so that they can follow the process exactly. Or they can just follow the key points and reasons why. We can also take just a quick look at how the different standards can be shown in different formats, just depending on how the teams want to view the information. This is one of the favorites at the moment, which is the A3 storyboard format, where you just read left to right. So all the steps appear in that storyboard fashion. And the next thing that I'd like to show you is we can see this is the vaccinator standard, and it appears, as we can see, in these NHS locations. So it's only live in those areas, and these are the departments that it appears in. Here we can see, if I click on the NHS tab, it would take us to the location tree where we've built an example of all the CCGs that may appear. We could put all the different regions into this, build out very quickly those containers, and that's where you could start to share the standards into those different environments. We also have an alert system, so if you're writing the standard, you would then receive alerts that relate to any of the standards that you are involved in. In this case, there aren't any for the vaccinator, but it's a great way of keeping you informed of some of the changes or requests that are coming through relating to the standards that you've got. Well, that's a brief tour of GenOps. We'd love to be able to demonstrate some of the other capabilities and how we think it can help in so many other ways with managing theatres, dealing with laboratories and so on, providing that standardization and best practice. There's so many ways in which it could be applied, not just to the vaccination process. What we're hoping to do is to be able to take some of the burden off the guys in the field, some of that administration burden, and make this a way of sharing best practice. Really look forward to demoing to you in the future.